Hello, I'm Tom Naughton, and this is the Fathead Report. Today I want to share some interesting things I've learned from vegans on Twitter. Now, I don't have anything against vegans. If you choose not to eat animal foods, I really don't care. If it makes you feel virtuous to eat a highly processed fake hamburger instead of a real one, be my guest. And I suspect most vegans are happy to mind their own business. But of course, some vegans consider it their mission in life to show up everywhere, including Twitter, and preach to the rest of us about why we shouldn't eat meat. And some of them make some very powerful arguments using what we'll call vegan facts, which are kind of like real facts, except they're not true. Like this one, Tom Brady is solely on a plant-based diet. If you're posting on Twitter, I assume you have access to the internet, which means you could very quickly learn that Tom Brady wrote a book describing his diet and training routines. And there are several reviews of the book, including this one from the Boston Globe, which tells us Brady eats fish for lunch. And it tells us Brady's book includes recipes for burgers made out of chicken or salmon. And by the way, he drinks bone broth. There's another review of Brady's book in Men's Health, and it says nothing about him skipping animal foods, but it does tell us he avoids white sugar, white flour, and white rice. All good ideas. And for some reason, he also avoids pineapples, which means Brady is unaware of this vegan fact. For 60 million years of human development, me strictly ate fruit. Our anatomy has not changed. We are still 100% frugivorous. Wow! Turns out human beings have been around a lot longer than we thought, because according to anthropologists, the first humans evolved somewhere around 3.5 million years ago. They were also about 3 feet tall and looked something like this, just like the people you see today, since our anatomy hasn't changed. And as far as humans being 100% frugivorous, well, of course. Obviously, my Irish ancestors survived the long winters by importing fruit from somewhere near the equator. And that explains why early humans painted all those pictures of fruit on the inside of their caves. Oh, wait, those appear to be animals, including paintings of humans hunting animals. Well, we can explain that one away by tossing out this vegan fact. Meat was a delicacy for Neanderthals. And our tweeter knows this because I'm no sprinter. I wouldn't have caught any gazelle. Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. You probably couldn't. But why would you believe your ancestors couldn't? Well, apparently it's because that's what vegan doctor John McDougall says. Here's an example from a recent interview.
Hey, catching an animal's hard. Catching an animal is difficult and hard to supply the population.
But wait a minute. Neanderthals, Paleolithic humans, Native Americans who followed the buffalo herds. How did all these humans get a reputation for being such proficient hunters?
But what hunter-gatherers have that distinguishes the hunter as the primary food provider is something called gender bias or sexual discrimination. It's the fact that the hunters were the men who went out on a voyage to find an animal, and they were lucky if they got it back 2 weeks later rotten.
Ah, that explains it. Humans got their reputation for being great hunters because of gender bias. We were actually very bad at hunting, which is why meat was a delicacy for Neanderthals, and why we only ate meat on special occasions, like Christmas and Easter. So we've finally solved the mystery of why humans painted their caves with pictures of themselves hunting 15 to 30,000 years ago. They were decorating for Christmas, or Easter, or some other special occasion where they ate meat. But apparently early humans had a lot of those special occasions because scientists can use something called isotope analysis to determine exactly what the Neanderthals ate. You have to admit it's pretty awesome when a delicacy makes up 80% of your diet. That's like me living on lobster and a nice caviar sauce. So why would anyone believe this nonsense? Well, humans form conclusions in a couple of different ways. People who are more rational tend to be objectivists, and they think like this: if it's true, I'll believe it. People who are more emotional tend to be subjectivists, and they think like this: if I believe it, it's true. And that's nothing new. Aristotle wrote about it more than 2,000 years ago, and it's probably been that way for the 60 million years that humans have been around, with the same anatomy we have today, and living 100% on fruit.